So you may have heard that Unison have released these new pastel sets. They're called mini sets, and there's 8 pastels in each, and there's 5 sets. And I was quite excited by the prospect of these, so I jumped at the chance to get a set, and just out of curiosity I thought I would test them. And I've got 3 paintings here, which I know you might find it's quite difficult to see at the moment because of the light, but I will put up a photo just here so you can see them a bit better. So the reference photos for these paintings I picked out about a month to 2 months ago, and as some of you know, I'm having a foot operation soon, so I have to get my tutorials ready for when I'm having that operation. So when these pastel sets arrived, I thought I'd set myself a challenge of using them. So I didn't pick the references based on the pastel sets. I already had the references. And then I thought, could I use these colours to create my paintings? Let's find out. So the 5 sets include a natural earth set, some lovely browns in here, a nice red brown there, some lovely muted greens here, and some bright greens over here, very nice, and a red orange set, a blue set, and in the blue set we've got what look like sky colours and watercolours, so more turquoise, blue-green colours and more blue-violet colours here, and a drawing set here with a very dark grey, almost black, a very dark blue A49, a white and a cream, a couple more greys, brown, and a mustardy colour, grey 21 there. So when I choose my reference photos, I choose it with you in mind, my students. And frequently I ask, what would you like me to do a tutorial on next? And it could be grass, it could be trees, it could be skies, it could be water, and within all that has to be something that I really want to paint, because if I'm not passionate about what I'm going to teach you, then I'm not going to be a very good teacher. So I always have to link whatever my students want to learn, whatever you want to learn, with something that I'm really going to enjoy. And this painting comes from a reference photo that I really just fell in love with because all the colours were really beautiful. So I got the 5 sets and set to work trying to work out how I would create this with all 5 sets. So first of all I chose the blue half stick 8 set to do the sky, and I went for the BV9 because it's a nice blue sky colour. This is a piece of wet and dry paper. It's 1200 grit. It's quite useful. I use it for test pieces instead of using pastel mat. So there's the blue violet 9, and it's really quite good, but I did want it to be a little bit fresher than that, so I added in the BG10 here, and it created a really nice sky colour. And there's the light 16 as well. Very nice, very easy to create a sky colour. It's a really good set for the skies, so I didn't have much issue creating skies at all. As you probably would expect, because it's a really good set of blues. I had the white for the fluffy clouds. Like that. And that was quite easy, and the white is in the Natural Earth, no it's not in that set, it's in the Drawing Half Stick set. And then for the stream, I didn't want to use too much of the blue greens because that stream wasn't actually very blue green, but I did use a tiny bit of the blue green 10, this one just here, but mostly I used the BV9, the BV12 and a bit of the BV18, mixed those together, and then I added a little bit of the BG14 in there because it just needed a little bit of green in there as well, and those blended really beautifully. So very easy to create the water, no, not a challenge at all. And then we go to the greens, and I was a little concerned about there wouldn't be a dark enough green to just use this set, these 8 sets rather. But in the Drawing Half Stick there's A49, and look how dark that is. It's a really nice blue. My favourite blue in the Unison is a dark 22, but this comes a close second. So I used the A49, and then I used the Yellow Green Earth 18 to just get some green in there as well. And then I went for the dark 11, and I usually use dark 10, which is nice, similar colour. So I would have used a dark 11 anyway, and that created a nice tree foliage effect, and distant trees as well. I got out of those. Brilliant. So easy to make. I didn't struggle at all, and like I say, I didn't choose these reference photos to go with the sets. The sets just worked. So lots of lights in here as well. Look at this, or bright greens, I say. Really good colours to get in the set. Those may even look very similar on your screen, but they're not that similar in fact. And look at this gorgeous bright green there. That's green 28, that one, and green 26, green 15, dark 11, and Yellow Green Earth 18. So some really good colours combined with that blue from the drawing set A49. I was able to get all the greens I needed, no issues whatsoever. And then in the grass there were some browns, so I just used the brown set. It was really that simple. So in the brown set, let's start at the beginning. We've got NE1, which has a really nice red brown, NE3, NE12, NE15, then NE7, NE8, NE14, and NE6. Okay, and I didn't use all of those, but a few of those were really useful in there. And that was about it. Now, did I use any of the red-orange set? Now, the last set here is the red-orange set. So I'll just go through those. We've got orange 1. Wow, that's a shocking colour, isn't it? Orange 3. Yellow 8. Yellow 10. Red 8. Wow, love that red. Did I call that? That was red 8. This is red 10. Wow, red 6 and orange 6. Very gorgeous. Lovely colours. Look at all those together, aren't they nice? And I did put a little bit of the red 6 and orange 6 in the clouds, because the clouds had a little bit of reflection of the sun in them, so I did put them in there like that. But after I'd done it, I thought it's just not quite right, so I added one extra colour, and it was this one. So it's a blue violet colour, and I just put that in to make my cloud have a little bit of, it was a little bit of rain and a little bit of light reflection in there, but it just added a little bit extra to the cloud. So sadly I didn't do it all with these sets, but I only needed to add one extra pastel. So that's not bad, is it? And this is the blue set. So we've got light 16, BG10, BG14, BGE6, and then BG6, BV9, BV12, and BV18. And then the drawing set, we have grey 28, which is essentially white, grey 27, which is a lovely cream, I use that one a lot, grey 21, I did use this in the landscape painting as well, BE5, that's a nice mid-brown, a warm mid-brown, got grey 31, this is a colour I didn't use at all in my 3 paintings, as well as grey 2, I didn't use that one either yet, I'm sure I will, A49, which was super useful, and grey 36, actually I used this one in the retriever painting to add some dark in there with the black. So my next tutorial is this Nova Scotia duck tolling retriever. That's a bit of a mouthful. In this beautiful scene with the light coming through the trees and some nice foreground wood, a nice log going on there, lovely coat on the dog. But I tend to do my animals more in pastel pencil. Mostly they have an underpainting of soft pastel, and then I'll use pastel pencil on top. But this dog is really quite small. His head is about, oh, I don't know, 2 inches wide, less than 2 inches I think. So he's very small, so I only use pastel pencils for the dog. But for the background I was thinking, wow, these greens in the background, they are not the same colour as the colours in my palette here in the green set. So I'm going to have to be mixing colours, you know. See, look, they are not the same. They are much darker, much bluer So again, I got my blue A49 and I mixed that with the green set, the Yellow Green Earth 18 and Dark 11, and made these beautiful colours. I even added a little bit of red into the trunks here, and added a little bit of red along the trunk that's lying down here as well. But everything else was made with the green set, the blue from the drawing set, the red from the red orange set, and the browns from here. And I only had to add one other pastel, and that was A37. It's a really interesting colour, this one. A stands for additional, and it is like a, sometimes you look at it and you think, oh, that's definitely a brown, and then sometimes you look at it again and you think, no, that's not a brown, that's a very dark green. So it's quite a confusing colour, but a very useful colour. As you can see, I put it next to this painting. You can see it in there. But I didn't use it that much. I mean, I used it on to darken the tree trunks down. But I used blue in there as well, the A49. So I just needed that little something to go a bit darker. And I did use some black pastel pencil, but I'm not counting that because that's pastel pencil. But if you see in the foliage here, down here on the forest floor, I didn't use any black at all down there. That was just the sets and this A37 as well. And then my third tutorial for you is this gorgeous cat. Now, the reference photo for this did have a black cat in it, but it didn't have this black cat in it. I chose this black cat because I preferred it. And this is all part of a wood series that I'm doing, because my students have asked for how to do wood, different types of wood, like floorboards, tree wood, old wood, lots of different types of wood. So that is all coming as well. So for the cat, I needed black, and I don't have a black in these sets, but you know, I'm not too worried about that because I've got a black anyway. Most people have got a black, and my favourite black is the Faber-Castell stick, black stick, 199 Faber-Castell, and I always use that black stick. So it's not an issue for me that it's not in these sets. So that was the only extra pastel I used. For the eyes, I used pastel pencil because I always use pastel pencil for eyes, except if I want a little glint in there, maybe I add a little bit of extra pastel on there. But everything else, inside the ears here, I used our lovely reds and oranges. I used these three down here for inside the ears. I used, did I use any other on? No, I didn't use any other sticks on the cat, so it was mostly that black stick. The whiskers were done with a gorgeous Caran d'Ache pastel pencil, and then I used the natural earth colours in here for the wood, along with a pastel pencil. So really very easy to pick out the colours again. I did put a little bit of our A49 in here as well, just to add a little bit more colour in there into the black. But yeah, that was it. And again, really easy to choose the colours from these sets. So I am super excited about these sets. They are really, really well chosen, and I'm really pleased to see them, because I just think they'll be so useful for all my students. So as you've just seen, the sets are really, really useful. The only thing that I would wish for is a new violet set. That would just be the icing on the cake. I'm so impressed with these, and I totally recommend it if you're going to get some Unisons, get these mini sets.